Quantum computing stocks surge. D-Wave IonQ rise on bullish Rosenblatt views. Wall Street just dropped a bombshell that could reshape the entire quantum computing landscape. And most investors are completely missing the bigger picture here. Two major players in the quantum computing arena experienced significant stock surges following fresh analyst coverage from Rosenblatt Securities. The investment firm launched coverage of both IonQ, trading on NYSE under IonQ, and D-Wave Quantum, NYSE QBTS, with bullish buy recommendations. Through the technology sector, the market response was immediate and telling. D-Wave Quantum shares surged approximately 3% during pre-market trading on Tuesday, while IonQ climbed roughly 1%. But here's where it gets controversial. These percentage gains might seem modest, but they represent something much more significant brewing beneath the surface. For those new to the quantum computing space, let me break this down in simple terms. These aren't your typical tech companies. IonQ and D-Wave Quantum are pioneering a revolutionary form of computing that could make today's most powerful supercomputers look like pocket calculators. They're racing to solve problems that would take traditional computers thousands of years to crack. We're talking about everything from drug discovery to financial modeling and cryptography. The timing of Rosenblatt's bullish stance raises eyebrows among market watchers. Research team leader Kevin Garrigan and his analysts have positioned themselves firmly in the optimistic camp at a moment when quantum computing stocks have been experiencing extreme volatility. This bold move suggests they're seeing something in the quantum landscape that others might be overlooking. But here's the part most people miss. Analyst buy ratings in the quantum computing sector carry different weight than traditional tech recommendations. These companies are still largely in the experimental and development phases, making revenue predictions and traditional valuation metrics almost meaningless. We're essentially betting on the future of computing itself. D-Wave Quantum focuses on quantum annealing technology, which excels at optimization problems. Think of it as finding the best route through an impossibly complex maze with millions of variables. Meanwhile, IonQ takes a different approach with trapped ion quantum computers, targeting more general-purpose quantum computing applications. The question that's dividing the investment community right now is this: are we witnessing the dawn of a quantum revolution? Or are these companies still years away from delivering commercially viable solutions? Rosenblatt clearly believes in the former. But skeptics argue that quantum computing remains more science fiction than business reality. What makes this coverage initiation particularly intriguing is the broader context. Major tech giants like IBM, Google, and Microsoft are pouring billions into quantum research, while startups and specialized firms like IonQ and D-Wave are racing to establish market leadership before the big players dominate completely. And this is the part most people miss. The real controversy isn't about whether quantum computing will eventually transform our world. Most experts agree it will. The heated debate centers on timing and which approach will ultimately win. Are we looking at a 5-year timeline or a 50-year timeline for widespread adoption? So here's my question for you. Do you think Rosenblatt's bullish call represents visionary investing or premature optimism? Are quantum computing stocks the next big thing, or are we getting caught up in another tech bubble? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear whether you're betting on the quantum future or staying skeptical until these companies prove they can deliver real-world results. Quantum supremacy. The future of computing is here. Quantum supremacy isn't just a buzzword. It's a technological revolution that could upend everything we know about computing. But is the world truly ready for what's coming? According to IonQ CEO Niccolo Masi, the dawn of quantum supremacy is closer than most people realize, and the implications are both thrilling and unsettling. In a recent conversation with CNBC's Jim Cramer, Masi confidently declared, "The era of quantum supremacy is just around the corner." He emphasized that this breakthrough isn't decades away, It's likely to arrive within the next few quarters, or, at most, a handful of years. This sense of urgency is electrifying the scientific community and investors alike, as quantum computing promises to revolutionize every field that relies on complex calculations, from climate modeling to artificial intelligence. IonQ stands at the forefront of this race, competing with other innovators like Rigetti Computing, D-Wave Quantum, and Quantum Computing Inc. But here's where it gets controversial. IonQ isn't just building quantum computers, they're also developing the networking infrastructure that could connect these machines, potentially giving them a strategic edge in the global quantum arms race. Wall Street is taking notice. Tech giants such as Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, and IBM, along with the US government, are pouring millions into quantum research. The goal? To solve problems that are simply impossible for today's classical computers, using the mind-bending principles of quantum mechanics. The excitement reached a fever pitch when Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang recently proclaimed that quantum computing is hitting an inflection point, suggesting that real-world applications are arriving much sooner than skeptics predicted. But is this optimism justified, or only getting ahead of ourselves? Masi highlighted one area where quantum computing could be a game-changer: healthcare and pharmaceuticals. He pointed to IonQ's collaboration with Nvidia, AWS, and AstraZeneca on a project aimed at accelerating drug discovery. By simulating molecules at the quantum level, researchers could unlock new treatments and therapies that were previously out of reach. Imagine a world where life-saving drugs are developed in months instead of years. This is the promise that quantum technology holds, and this is the part most people miss. The race for quantum supremacy isn't just about scientific progress, it's also about security. Masi boldly stated that IonQ is leading the Western world's efforts to break RSA encryption, a cornerstone of digital security. We are racing China, almost single-handedly, to be the RSA cracker, he said. If quantum computers can indeed crack RSA, the entire foundation of internet security could be at risk. Suddenly, IonQ's quantum networking equipment becomes essential for safeguarding our digital civilization. But is it wise to put so much power in the hands of a few companies? So what do you think? Is the world ready for the quantum leap, or are we rushing into unknown territory? Could quantum computing be the key to solving humanity's biggest challenges, or does it open a Pandora's box of new risks? Share your thoughts. Do you agree with the bullish outlook, or do you see reasons for caution? Let's get the debate started in the comments below.